Hi everyone, welcome to Mentoring Sessions with Pastor M. I know it's been ages and I do apologize, but life somehow just took over. So anyhow, here I am. So today I'm going to be talking about something that, okay, let me give you a quick backstory. So I was just listening to a couple of my old messages and I stumbled on one really interesting one that I know most of you haven't heard. I think I preached it in 2012. Yes, 2012. So I just thought to try and bring it to life again and maybe send you guys back to go and find the message because it will really bless you. So today I'm talking to the single ladies. So all the single ladies, oh no, I'm born again, I'm supposed to sing that. So all the single ladies, today I'm going to be telling you something that may just save your life. So today I'm going to be talking to you about don't marry him if ... Okay, don't marry him if. So let's jump right into it. Number one, don't marry him if he's blind. Yes, I said it. Don't marry him if he's blind. If he has no vision, if he has no idea where he's going, if he cannot see, he's not the kind of guy that you should marry. There's no point. Just imagine, okay, sometimes we need to think about things maybe a bit literally so that we can understand them figuratively. So just imagine getting into a car and then just before you guys drive off, the guy just grabs a blindfold and blindfolds himself and he just turns the ignition. How many of you are going to still stay seated in that car and say, oh, I trust him because I love him. He's going to take us where? No. I guarantee you're going to get out of that car immediately. So it's the same thing with your life. Don't put someone who can't see in the driver's seat. It doesn't make any sense. So don't marry a guy who cannot see, a man who does not have vision. Bible says that two cannot work together except they be agreed. What are you agreeing on? What is he seeing for the future? What's the point in getting a leader who doesn't know where he's going? If he's telling you to join him on the journey of life and he can't see where he's going, what is the point? So please don't marry a man that cannot see. Second level to not seeing is don't marry a man who can't see you, who can't see the you that you can become. Marrying a man of vision saved my life because I remember many years ago getting married to Pastor K and I didn't quite see myself, but he saw the woman I could become today. And he kept pushing and kept encouraging and kept telling me, you're too great to stand behind me. You have to stand beside me. You're powerful. You're this, you're that. He saw all I could be. And he did everything to make sure that I would be the woman that I should. So don't marry a man that can't see you. Don't marry a man that wants you for everything but who you really are and who you can become. Remember, a husband is a groomsman. And if he can't see the possibilities in you, if he can't see the woman that you can become tomorrow, there's no point marrying him. So number one, don't marry him if he cannot see. Number two, don't marry him if he's insecure and jealous. I don't know how women do these things, but you guys that do these things, I salute you. I don't know how you can marry a man that would be uncomfortable with you being successful. I don't know how you can marry a man who is not rooting for you. I don't know how you can marry a man who is not your biggest cheerleader. One of the worst things you can do to yourself is marry a man who is insecure. First of all, men already have a large ego, and that's already something you have to deal with. And imagine someone who has issues with women being great. Now, I don't know if anyone, and I mean literally anyone, whether male or female, should dim their light for anyone else. The Bible says arise and shine. So why would anybody want to dim their lives and shrink down? It says arise and shine. So whatever is inside of you, one of the worst ways to live is trying to hide your light because you don't want to make someone else around you uncomfortable. Trying to live your life walking around tiptoeing all your life. That's going to be so horrible. Or walking around on eggshells. That is such a horrible way to live. If you're going to live with someone for the rest of your life, one of the things you must be is comfortable around them. You should be comfortable to be great. Be comfortable to share your testimonies. You shouldn't worry about, oh, if I get this job, how is it going to feel? Or if I progress in my career, how is it going to take it? No, you should be excited knowing that when you get home and you share your testimony, he's going to be just as excited, if not more excited for you. Every time I have a big win, my husband is excited, he's jumping, sometimes even much more than me, because sometimes I'm like, I don't understand why you're this happy. And then he's like, big preacher. I'm like, what's that? My wife is a celeb. I say, I beg, hold it. But imagine having to always worry about what testimony to share, always having to worry about how to declare whether you have this money or not, because you don't know how he's going to take it. You don't know what you will say that will make him uncomfortable. So don't marry a man that is insecure. The truth is, it's not your responsibility to make him secure. However, if you have a husband who celebrates you and pushes you to be the best that you can be and encourages you, please do not now turn out to be disrespectful or not submissive just because you think you've made it in life. We must both be able to thrive and encourage each other and love on each other. So don't marry a man that's insecure. It's one of the worst things you can do to yourself as a single lady. And if you're a single lady right now and you are hiding your car or your house, or you can live your best life and you're hiding it because you're afraid that men are not going to marry, trust me, those are not the kind of men that you would marry anyway, or you should marry anyway. No. Don't dim your life for anyone. Buy that car, travel the world, enjoy yourself, wear the dress, buy the shoes, do whatever. If you can afford it, if you earned it, you deserve it, okay? So marry a man that will celebrate all your wins. Don't marry him if he's insecure or he's jealous. Number 3, and this one is arguably one of my favorites. Don't marry him if he's a mommy's boy. Like, to be honest, if I was doing this in the service, and I think this was what I did during the service, I'd probably bring a feeding bottle. So you'd see how ridiculous it is for a grown man to be holding onto his mother's apron strings, trying to get her to change his diapers or trying to get milk from her. It is just absolutely ridiculous. If a man calls his mother, mommy, run. If he says, my mommy says, run. If he says, wait, I have to ask mommy, run. Take my advice and run. Bible says, for this reason shall a man, not a boy, a man leave his father and his mother, leave his daddy and his mommy, and cleave. So he speaks of maturity. If he's not mature, if he's a mommy's boy, if everything he does, he has to run it by his mom, it's not a man to marry, okay? And I'm not saying that you should marry a man who's disrespectful to his mother, because the truth is the way he treats his mom is most likely the way he's going to treat you, or his sisters for that matter. But if he's the kind of person that cannot make decisions on his own, if he's the kind of person that is easily influenced by his mom, siblings, anyone really, if he's the kind of person that cannot make any decision and stick to it, he's not the kind of man that you should marry. It's very dangerous to be stuck with a mommy's boy. I've seen families utterly destroyed by a man who cannot stand up for anything. I know someone who his mom would come to his house and beat up his wife, and he would say nothing about it. He would say things like, what am I going to do now? She's my mom. She's your mom. That's the reason why you can do something about it. You are the one that can tell her, oh, don't do this. That's crossing the line. So if you meet a guy who can't stand up his mom, trust me, there'll be times that in the marriage you probably will be at loggerheads with her. Hopefully not, but there will be times it can happen. So you need a man who's be able to stand up for what is right, a man who's going to be able to stand up for what he believes. So don't marry a mommy's boy. Don't marry a boy who's still taking money from his mom. Whoever holds the purse strings controls the family. So if your mother-in-law is still controlling everything, if she's giving freedom to just waltz into the home at any time, that's why the Bible says a man must leave to cleave. There can't be any cleaving if there's no leaving. So he has to leave his mom and his dad to be able to cleave to you properly. I don't know, because I'm playing weird scenarios in my head, but I'm just imagining that you probably grew up in a family where you guys don't pound yam. You're a poundo kind of girl, you know. You make it on fire, just turn the tin. Nobody's hearing the sound of mortar and piston in your house or anything. And then his mom just says, oh no, that's not, my son doesn't eat, he only eats fresh pounded yam. And then she now goes on to take over from, let me tell you, it might seem like, that's her business. She can do, because I literally can hear some of you rolling your eyes. That's her business. She wants to pound yam. Let me tell you, it starts with little things. Before you know it, she says, oh, my son doesn't do this. My son doesn't do that. Oh, we don't do this in our family. And then he says, oh, yes, what mommy said. Oh, yes, what mommy said. It starts with little things like that. There's a scenario that people used to use back then. I don't know if it's gone around in recent times, but there's this scenario about a woman. I don't know if it's a true story, but about a woman that used to go around when we still had Blackberries. It was a broadcast. There was a woman who left her baby, new baby, with her mother-in-law. By the time she came back, the woman had given the baby large tribal marks, like as if the child fought a tiger, you know what I mean? And the woman was livid. And she was like, they were like, what will you do? And someone was saying, I was going to do my mother. And I'm just thinking, if your husband is a mommy's boy, and trust me, you're not doing anything about it. So if you know that your husband can't stand up for himself, he can't make decisions, or your fiance, then don't marry him. So that would be my number 3. Don't marry me if he's a mommy's boy. Number 4, don't marry him if he's abusive. Now, I don't care whether it is physically, emotionally, verbally, psychologically, social medially, I don't know, whatever way. If he's abusive, it's a no-go. That's a good time to just run for your life. I've heard a lot of women say things like, oh no, he didn't mean it, or he does something really mean, talks down on you, very condescending in public, he's nasty, he's mean, and then he has a way of just buying you gifts to just make it, it's not all right. Oh, he didn't mean, no, he's not all right. If he's abusive, it is a horrible way to live. Some people say things like, oh, but he's never hit me, but his words are hitting you daily. He says things like, you're stupid. He says things like, I don't even know I'm stuck with you. He says things like, I'm even doing you a favor by being with you. No one is doing you a favor by being with you. You are the prize. I say this all the time to ladies. You are the prize. He that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor. So you are the good thing. You are the favor pipe. Without you, there's no favor. So every man that meets you should actually see it as a privilege to have you in his life. So if a man makes you feel less than you are, whether he's hitting, if he's hitting, he can't even be hitting you. Why is he hitting you? Let me not be angry. Why is he hitting you? No, let's stop and think about it for a few minutes. Why is he hitting you? No, he's not hitting you. If he's threatening to hit you, if he's giving you body, body, like he's threatening to slap you, you run for your life. Run for your life. I know someone who, and the bad thing about abuse? Abuse is, it has a way of suppressing you till you start accepting it as if it's normal. So I know of a woman who her husband would beat her. Hey God, I'm still angry just thinking about it. My whole body's shaking. He would beat her. He beat her one day with a plastic chair in their house. Beat her until the chair was broken. How does another human being break a chair on you? And she was crying and blocking. Because I had to ask her, I say, so, no vex, because I'm about to switch. No vex, as they beat you, what do you do? She said, oh, I'm dodging. I said, you did dodge. Hey, God. So no, let's not. I'm not teaching you guys violence, but let's just say, just run for your life. Let's leave it there. If a guy is abusive, just run for your life. It's not a conversation for you to have. And I've heard crazy things like other single girls telling this, like real life, not that they just said me. I was sitting somewhere in my office when I used to work in Port Harcourt, and someone's boyfriend, not husband, boyfriend, not father, boyfriend. And I'm stressing not husband, not father, because even those ones don't have a right to beat you like that. Especially if you're an adult. If you're a child, your father can smack you, but if you're an adult, So anyhow, said her boyfriend beat her. And then as her boyfriend beat her, the ones in the office were telling her, how you gonna say man love you? If he no beats you, how you gonna say love you? I was livid. I was like, how is that the advice you give someone you guys call your friend? Say, don't answer this Lagos girl, we don't know as Lagos love DP. Wow. There's no Lagos love. There's no Port Harcourt love. There's no Warri love. There's only love in the Bible. And the love in the Bible tells me that love is patient, love is kind. It doesn't anywhere mention that love is abusive. So don't take anything abusive from anyone. I don't care how many gifts he buys you after. I don't care how many times he puts you on his DP and on social media and puts all the nice words. When he comes into the house, he's beating you. If at any time he's coming close to you and you feel fear, run. That's abuse. Some of us are so abused, we don't even understand what abuse is. Some of us are so comfortable with being in toxic situations, we don't even know what toxicity is anymore. If someone is treating you like you are less than a human being, if a man is punching you, hitting you, scratching, kicking, whatever. Talk to someone. Open up. Don't hide. Talk to someone and run for your life. So don't marry him if he's abusive, whether it's verbally, whether it's emotionally. So you have a small argument, he doesn't talk to you for weeks, literally makes you beg for attention. Run for your life. You deserve better, okay? Tell them I said so. Run for your life. So number 5, don't marry him if he's hot-tempered. Yeah, I know this is like piggybacking off the last point. So don't marry him if he's hot-tempered. You know, sometimes people are abusive and they're not necessarily hot-tempered. But I'm talking anger, visible anger. Shouting, raised voices, you know, little things that you do will trigger extreme reactions. So you crack a joke and he's like, how dare you? Oga, what did I carry? What did you throw? What's really going on, sir? It's not that deep at all. You know, you say something to him and he just feels, he's very vocal about how disrespectful you are and shouting, and nobody can seem to calm him down. Don't marry a man that is hot-tempered. If he's hot-tempered, he's most likely going to be irrational. Anger is a spirit, and take this from someone who used to be very angry. Anger is a spirit. If there's violence, it usually is triggered by anger. And it takes, I mean, no, don't marry a man that is angry. Honestly, I'm saying this because I've had too many women send me messages and say things like, I love him, he's sweet, he's this, but he's very hot-tempered. And that's a recipe for disaster, because a man that is hot-tempered means that he can't control himself. And I've seen people literally almost kill someone because they are angry. It's a terrible thing. So don't sit there and say, oh, he's not really like that. It's just that he lost his temper. And I always say, he lost his temper. Must he find it on you? Must it be you he's beating? Someone actually told me that she's dating someone that he's very hot-tempered, but he's never hit her. I said, well, how does that work? She said, oh, that anytime he's angry, he hits the wall. So my question is, the day there's no wall and you're the only one standing, and somehow, because anger makes you blind. Remember the saying, blind with fury? Yeah. Anger makes you blind. So imagine he's furious and he can't see anymore. And for some funny reason, Satan just makes you look like a wall. Think about it. Think about it and jot things down. Just think about it for a minute. I don't know where you're going to end up, but let me tell you, people have died because of anger. So if a man is hot-tempered, he's not the kind of man you want to toy with. I know he will probably calm down after and apologize, but what happens between the time he's angry and he apologizes, usually only God can deliver you from. So if a man is hot-tempered, I would say run for your life. So don't marry him if you see any traces of uncontrolled anger. Anger is not a bad thing, only that the Bible says, in your anger, do not sin. So what does he do when he's angry? That's what I'm concerned about. It says, do not let your anger, do not let the sun go down on your anger. What happens when someone has prolonged anger, or he can't express himself? He can't have a mature conversation and say, what you did, I don't like it. No, he has to use his fists. He has to use his head. He has to body slam you and do power drive and all those kind of moves that you do in WWE, all those kind of things. No. If a man is hot-tempered, trust me, he's not the kind of person that you want to toy with. The Bible says that anger rests in the bosom of fools. When someone is angry, they make foolish decisions, including stabbing women. So if a man is hot-tempered or he's violent, that's a good place to end that relationship. So I would say don't marry him if he's hot-tempered. Oh, let me quickly add to that. Don't marry him if he's opinionated as well. So if he's hot-tempered, violent, or opinionated, he's a no-no, okay? Nobody can be right all the time. Usually the three go together. Like, how dare you? Why would you say that? This is what I want. Because, sir, who are you? How can it be only what you want? We're two people in the relationship. I've told her I don't like this. What about things she doesn't like, sir? So please, if he's opinionated, you can't get a word across. It's only what he wants that happens in the relationship. And the head, that's when he remembers it's the head. Forgetting that the head is a leadership position. It's a leadership role. And it speaks of responsibility and love and tender care. So if he can't give you all those three things, please run away. He can't give you love, if he's not responsible, he's not a leader, and he can't be tender with you, please run for your life. So I would say don't marry him if he's hot-tempered, violent, or opinionated. So number 6, Number 6, don't marry him if he's stingy. Oh, I just heard a lot of women celebrating. Oh, don't marry a man that's stingy. Funny enough, that's one of the strongest things I heard my mom say over the years growing up. I always hear her say things like, God forbid, oh, don't marry a stingy man. She will always say that thing, God forbid, oh, nobody marry a stingy man. No much. And today, I would say the same thing. Don't marry a stingy man. Don't marry a man that is, Igbo people call them akagom. They can't bring us anything out of their hand. Hey, Jesus Christ. How can a human being even be stingy? Then a man, what happened? Don't marry a man that is stingy. Marry a man that is always having excuses. You can't get anything out of him. If you like, let be dying. You just stand there and say, oh, sorry. So what did they say? So what did the doctor say? Oh, God, bring never. I'm not saying that women should be lazy, and I'm not saying that you should expect a man to do things for you. But if he's stingy to everyone around you, he's not generous. Generally, he's not. Let's even start from if he's stingy with God. A man that would not give to God would definitely not give to you. If he's not paying his tithe, he's definitely not going to give you anything. So a man that is not generous. I'm not just talking stingy in terms of money. I'm talking stingy in terms of everything. Stingy with his compliments, stingy with his time, stingy with his resources, whether it's money, whether it's people he knows. There are people that you can be close to. And you're probably trying to get a job. And they are literally sitting on job opportunities, like 25 million job opportunities, and they will never say anything to you. Never. They want you to do everything, do everything by yourself, get everything by yourself, and they're claiming and lying to themselves that they're trying to make you strong. No. Anybody who is stingy with compliments, they can never say anything good. You make your hair, you're trying. You wrote a book, okay. Nothing. No, you never hear, oh, your hair is lovely. Oh, that's never. They'll never praise you, never, no. Don't marry a man that is stingy with anything. Stingy to his own family. Now, I'm not saying you, girlfriend, now. Do you understand? I'm talking family, even his family. You would never hear his sisters say anything kind about him. You would never, he's the kind of person that will go out and come back and buy one meat pie only for himself. And he's eating and you're watching him. And he's asking you, have you eaten? Not because he wants to offer you, because he's eating. So marry a man that is stingy. Because let me tell you, you will need, when you get married, sometimes, to be honest, there will be times where you don't have it all. And you need someone that, even if you don't need it, to be honest, you just need that knowledge, that constant knowing that there's somebody that has my back, that if I need something, I can go to. There's someone that I know I can rely on and I can count on. So if he's stingy, don't marry him. Number 7, this should go without saying, but hey, since we're doing it, I might as well. Number 7, don't marry him if he's unfaithful. Marriage doesn't change anybody. I know I hear things like, all men cheat, maybe you. But if you open your eye and you willingly enter a relationship where the man is cheating, because for the sake of argument, let me even say, I agree with you, let's try. But before you entered, that is unfaithful. You say, when he gets married, auntie, just do comedy show and let people be paying you, because you're wasting your talents. If you marry a man that with your eyes in your eye, you open like this, and you saw he has cheated on you like 64 times in the relationship, and then on the wedding day, you are dancing more than everybody because you are the girl that won. I'm sorry, that's so funny though. You are dancing because you think, I'm the one that won. You are doing nothing. And you are doing all the mad things, open your mouth and doing chest like this, as if you won something big. Wow. You are the one that won, yes, but you are the one that won HIV. You are the one that won sleepless nights. You are the one that won PTSD and all the horrible things that come with infidelity. Let me tell you, if a man is unfaithful now, marriage is not going to change him. Nothing, marriage doesn't change anyone. It only amplifies what's already there. So if it's good, marriage will amplify it. If it's bad, marriage will so amplify it, you won't even believe it. So that's why when people have issues in marriage, you hear counselors say, but did you see this before you got married? If you are seeing that a man is unfaithful now is the time to make your exit. Just run for your life before you are now bound. When you're in a relationship, you can say, I'm not doing it again. But if you're married, that's when you know that prayer is only work that married women do. When you hear that, do not say, I'll be praying. There's nothing God cannot do. There's nothing God will have you to forgive. God expects you to forgive. That's what you'll be hearing. But what about the horrors of not knowing where your husband is? The horrors of not knowing which girl he's with. The horrors of not even knowing what all those diabolical girls are doing out there. The horrors of knowing that your life is always under threat. Because maybe one girl latches onto him and now decides that, I could go want to replace this girl. So they are plotting your downfall and they want to kill you. What's the point in all of this? I understand when people don't even know, but when you know and you open your eye. So don't marry a man that is unfaithful. There's still men out there who are faithful. Men that have pledged their life, their body, and everything to God. Don't marry a man that is unfaithful. You are doing yourself injustice. You didn't win anything. Let me just tell you, I don't want to call your name, but in Kechi, you that are thinking that you have won, you have not won. Bolanle, you have not won. Do you hear me? Amina, just break it off now. Stop telling yourself, I'm the one that won, or I'm the girl he loves, I'm the one he took to the altar to do what? You didn't win anything. So if he's unfaithful now, run for your life. Like I said before, marriage doesn't change anyone. A lizard before marriage will not become a crocodile in marriage. So marriage does not change anyone. So if he's unfaithful, don't marry him. Number 8, if he's unruly, nobody can talk to him. I like him because he's a man of his own. Which kind of English is that, first of all? But he's a man of his own. Oh God, the things I hear in counseling. Let me do like Muchisom. He's a man of his own. He's not a man of his own. A man that nobody can talk to is, oh God. Just carry, she's noose, they call that thing. Just rope it around your neck, and just put chair that any minute you can kick, so you just kill yourself. Because you're about to kill yourself. If you get into marriage with someone that nobody can talk to, his parents can't talk to him, he doesn't have spiritual parents, he doesn't respect anybody, nobody can talk to me, I'm the only one that can make decisions on you are dead already, auntie. You are dead. I'm telling you. Because at every point in a man's life, he needs another human being to speak over him. There must be someone that can tell him, come, this thing you're doing is not good. That's why we're putting community. That's why we're putting families. Because we can't know it all. There are times I thought I knew what I was doing, but just putting it before someone, the Bible says that in multitude of counselors, there's safety. Just calling my pastor and saying, oh, this is what I wanted to do, and he's like, what's that? Why would you think that? Look at this. And all of a sudden, it just looks like light. Illumination just comes in. You know, that's what ignorance is. It's darkness. Light just brings, it just opens up everything to you. That what were you thinking? And that's why the Bible says that in multitude of counselors, there's safety. There must be someone that can speak over him. When I was getting married to my husband, one of the first things he did was take me to 3 people. 3 people that he told me, see, if my head is touching, these were his exact words. These are the people that you can report me to, and my head will come back. These are people, yes, great relationship coach, yes, great pastor, all those kind of things. But the truth is, there are times that I have threatened to call. There are times I haven't called. Don't tell him I told you. I've called. And pastor will just say, okay, no, you are the one wrong. Or call him and say, so what's happening? Have you taken, Mildred seems like she's tired. She needs a vacation. Because if I tell him I need a vacation, I will not believe me. Just because I'm superhero or something. I need a vacation. I'm just saying it so that I can tell him. But anyhow, so you see, there are moments where I've had to use it. So if you have someone that nobody can talk to, you already, it's dangerous. So if you have a man that is unruly, a man that will, they say, don't drive one way. What's that? You will drive one way. Traffic light say stop. When it's red, that's when he will see green. He will move. Pay tight. That's when he will not pay. What's it? Do have sex before marriage? What did they know? Or do you know what Pastor 2 is doing? Everything they say, he will do the opposite. Everything. Come for this meeting, we're not doing it. They don't do this in the office. Today is the day of appraisal. You must submit it. Why must I submit that day? I will do what I like. It's not to go and beg a child. Everything they unruly. Totally. And that's the one you want to go and trick your head. Why? He loves me, he will change. Why? Why? Why do you think he will change? What do you have that Jesus does not have? And Jesus has not been able to change him yet. A man is unruly, run for your life. So do not marry a man if he's unruly. Number 9. I'm not sure a lot of you are going to like me after this, but I'm going to say it because it is what it is. Number 9, don't marry him if he spoils you. I know. Be angry first. I want you to see me. Yeah, what she's saying. In fact, this is what I don't like. Wait before you switch off. Don't marry a man that spoils you. And let me clarify. There's a difference between spoiling and pampering. Okay? Marry a man who pampers you. Of course, marry a man who pampers you. But if you have a man who cannot tell you the truth, a man who allows you to get away with blue murder, especially because you can throw around a few tears, or you have his mumu button. I will just cook this soup for him. Or I'll just wear negligee and lie down and see. You are getting ready to destroy your life. Don't marry a man that lets you get away with even the things you know are bad. So I will say, and I will say it again, don't marry a man that spoils you. Marry a man who pampers you, a man who knows that you are deserving of all the finest things of life. But a man who spoils you by not telling you the truth. Eli, let's look at the Bible. Eli couldn't tell his sons the truth. They were a disaster, doing whatever they liked in the temple of God. Eli was a high priest, for those of you who didn't know. And when God was going to do what he was going to do, he destroyed all of them and canceled a whole generation. David was on the run from his son Absalom and all those things because he could not stand up to his son when he raped his daughter. Look, there are times when we must just be okay with being corrected. Because the Bible says this is one the Lord loves that he chastises. So if he loves you, he should be able to correct you. There are lots of times my husband has told me no or yes concerning the situation. I didn't like it, but I'm the better for it. I remember when I was trusting God for children. Oh, God. I didn't like it, though. My husband would tell me, oh, I will know when you're in faith. Oh, you're not studying the word. All those things were annoying me. But thank God he didn't spoil me. Thank God he didn't say, okay, whatever you want, baby, I don't want you to cry. When I cry, you come back and say, oh, this cry that you're crying now, are you now pregnant? It used to be so annoying, and I felt it was really rather insensitive, and we had that conversation later. But the truth is that he didn't allow me stay in that place of misery, you know, and he didn't join me because misery loves company. He didn't join me. He just always made me see that this thing you're doing is not going to bring results. Can we clean our eyes and get results first? We can cry later. By the way, why don't we even switch it to tears of joy when we now have the testimony? You know, so he was always quick. I've always been the kind of person that doesn't like the stage. I like to be behind the scenes. So then my husband would say I should preach. I want to preach. And he was so adamant about it. He would just tell me, honey, you're preaching second service and just move on with his life. I'm like, sir, what do you mean preaching second service? And he would totally ignore me. And I would have to go and do it. He would put his foot down. If you marry a man that cannot put his foot down, it will not be for your own good, to be honest with you. So when I say, don't marry a man that spoils you, let's put this in context, because I understand bloggers are going to take this out of context now. But that's okay. We'll just get the point I'm saying. Don't marry a man that spoils you, marry a man that pampers you. So if he spoils you, he doesn't tell you the truth, he's scared of your tears, he's scared of you when you start manipulating him, you know what to do, you know how to press the right buttons to get him to do whatever you want. Listen, in the end, you're going to want a leader, and you have trained him to be a follower. Okay? So don't marry him if he spoils you. And of course, number 10, my list would not be complete without this. Don't marry him if he's an unbeliever. Don't marry him if he's not born again. It doesn't make any sense. In fact, something I said in 2012, and I'm going to say it again, we don't crossbreed in this kingdom, okay? If you are not pure breed, you don't marry somebody who is not pure breed. If you are a Christian, marry a Christian who has the same values and beliefs as you. If you are not a Christian, please marry somebody who is not a Christian, who has the same values and beliefs as you. I don't understand why you like bad things, you won't go carry good things to spoil them. Why don't you just go and meet another bad thing so that it will be okay? But if you're a Christian and you want to live by the standards and precepts of the Bible, then marry another Christian. You see, Christianity is not just about morals. It's not just about good behavior. Christianity is about a changed nature. It is God changing your nature and coming to live on the inside of you. And you are now translated from the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of light. So we're now citizens of heaven. I mean, it's such a deep concept. You're now living. You're no longer dead. So I share this everywhere I go, or every time I have the opportunity to. God rescued me a long time ago from this concept because he shared with me this simple principle. You know how the Bible says that we are alive. You know, we're no longer dead in sin. We're now alive. He says, in natural life, like normal life as we have now, I don't see many people go to the cemetery to say, oh, I want to marry this man because he's gorgeous. God, the guy, see his lashes. Hey, see his brows. Oh, God, my children will have edges. No. You don't even go to the mortuary and say, well, I want to marry this guy. Why? Because he's worth millions. No. Why don't you do that, though? Oh, this guy is so tall, he's dark, he's handsome. But he's dead. You are alive, so you don't go and pick a dead body to marry. So why do we do that in the kingdom of God? Why are you, my born-again sister, who is alive in Christ, now going to the mortuary to go and pick someone who is dead in sin to marry? It doesn't make any sense. The Bible says, do not be unequally yoked. What is light with darkness? You know, my brother-in-law shared a story a couple of years ago when he first came to preach at our church. And he said he saw a vision. His body was literally translated out of the body, and he saw a vision. And it was up in the ceiling. And when he was looking down, he was just seeing he wasn't seeing people, he was seeing light. So sometimes you see two people standing, and it's not as if there were not two people there, but one was light and the other was dark. There was no light. That's what Christ does. He brings light. The Spirit of God comes and ignites. That's why your spirit is the candle of the Lord. It comes and brings light into your spirit. So you are alive. So what concordance, let me speak in James for you people, has light with darkness? How can you place the Spirit of God with the spirit of Belial? You should be repulsed. Totally. So if he's not born again, don't marry him. Don't marry him. Many years ago, God asked me, he said, when you get married, you know you're marrying into a family, right? And I was like, yeah. He said, but I'm your father. I said, yes. He said, so if somebody's an unbeliever, who is his father? Of course, I like to show God that I'm quite intelligent like his daughter. I said, Satan. He said, beautiful. So if you're married to someone whose father is Satan, that means Satan is your father-in-law, right? I didn't quite see it that way until then. I said, and any good father-in-law would move about with gifts. So imagine Satan, your father-in-law, because you chose to marry an unbeliever, not abusing you, now came to your house. Of course he will come with demons. Will he not come with quarrel? Will he not come with fights? Will he not come with problem? The same way your father-in-law will come with oporoko and yam and oporo and all kinds of things and dry fish. Your father-in-law has to come with quarrel, with problem, with chaos. So why do you want to do that to yourself? Marry into a good family. Marry into a God family. We don't crossbreed in this kingdom. If you're a Christian, marry a Christian. If you're an unbeliever, marry an unbeliever. So number 10 is don't marry him if he's not born again. And that's my 10, okay? My 10 on don't marry him if. Hopefully I'll back with don't marry her if, so the guys are not left out. God bless you guys. Had so much fun. Bye.